Alright, bond outstanding method naman tayo sa video lecture na ito. This is one of the three methods of amortizations of premium and discount. Sana napanood mo na ang ating premium and discount overview at saka ang ating straight line method of amortization. This time sa video lecture na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang bond outstanding method. Dito sa investment in bonds, meron tayong investor at investee. Si investor ang ating bond holder at si investee naman ang ating bond issuer. Siya ang nag-i-issue itong bonds na ito. At si investor naman ang nagpo-purchase or nag-acquire ng bonds na yan or nag-i-invest ng kanyang money to the investee. So itong bonds na ito na ini-issue ni investee ay pwedeng i-acquire or i-purchase ni investor at face amount. Pwede rin niyang i-acquire more than the face amount or less than the face amount. Kapag in-acquire ni investor ang bonds na ito at face amount, wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount. Therefore, kung wala siyang premium and wala siyang discount, wala siyang amortization. Nagkakaroon lang siya ng amortizations kapag in-acquire ng investor itong bonds na more than the face amount or less than the face amount. Kapag more than the face amount, ang difference nilang dalawa ay tinatawag na premium. At kapag in-acquire naman ni investor ito less than the face amount, ang tawag mo sa difference nila ay discount. At yan ang pag-uusapan natin dito sa bond outstanding method. So, unahin muna natin na in-acquire ni investor ito at face amount. So, here in bond outstanding methods, usually, ginagamit itong method na ito kapag ang bonds ay tinatawag na serial bonds. Serial bonds are those which have a series of maturity dates or those bonds which are payable in installment. So, sa serial bonds, meron tayong iba't ibang dates ng maturity. Kung saan, itong si investee, nagbabayad siya ng installment sa face amount na ito. Sa example natin na ito, we have a nominal interest rate of 8%. The life of our bond is 5 years and the face amount of our bond is 5 million. And annually, my installment payment si investee na 1 million for 5 years. So, ang ibig sabihin, kung mayroong face amount na 5 million at 1 million ang binabalik niya kay investor after 5 years, tapos na siya sa bonds na ito. On the 5th year, after niyang ibigay ang installment payment niya kay investor, wala na siyang utang doon. So, tapos na yung bonds na yan. Umpisahan natin sa kung saan si investor binili niya itong bonds na ito at face amount. So, kapag at face amount niya binili, wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount. So let me write my timeline here. So we have our transaction date on this timeline and we have our year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. So every year, si investee magbabayad siya ng 1 million. So on the transaction date, dahil binili niya ito ng 5 millions at face amount, our entry is debit to investment or investment in bonds and credit to cash of 5 million. Ang annual payment of 1 million sa year 1 is debit to cash of 1 million and credit to the investment in bonds of 1 million. Babawasan na natin yung investment in bonds natin dahil nga nagbayad na si investee ng 1 million sa investment in bonds na yan. Then, sa year 1, nagbayad din si investee ng interest. So, on the part of the investor, it's the investor's interest income. So, ang entry natin is debit to cash. On the books of the investor, ang ating entry for the interest income is debit to cash of 400,000 and credit to interest income of 400,000. And to calculate for the interest income ni investor, we have our face amount of 5 million times our 8% nominal interest rate times 1. 1 represents the 1 year. So kung ang kinakalculate mo ay 6 months lang, then multiply by 6 over 12. Kung 3 months lang, then 3 over 12. On this example, 1 taon ang kinukompute natin or kinakalculate natin na interest income ni investor. So, yan ang entry natin on year 1. Or, pwede natin i-compound entry yan. Ang magiging compound entry natin is debit to cash of 1,400,000, credit to investment of 1 million, and credit to interest income of 400,000. Ganito ang compound entry. So, ganyan ang compound entry natin. Isang entry na lang. On year 2, nung tinanggap ni investor ang second annual installment ni investee, our entry is debit to cash of 1 million and credit to the investment in bonds of 1 million. So, yan ang entry natin noong tinanggap ni investor ang 1 milyong second annual installment ni investee. Yung binayad naman ni investee na interest kay investor will be debit to cash and credit to the interest income. This time, ang ating calculations for the interest income ni investor will be 4 million times 8% times 1. Bakit 4 million? Kasi nagbayad na siya ng 1 million. Sa buong taon ng year 2, ang bond outstanding ni investor ay 4 million. Alright? So, yan na lang ang magiging basihan ng interest income ni investor or interest expense ni investee. So, we have 4 million times 8% times 1 year. Our cash na natanggap natin from investee for the interest income will be 320,000. So, our entry will be debit to cash of 320,000 and credit to interest income of 320,000. Ang compound entry natin dito sa year 2 will be debit to cash of 1,320,000, credit to investment in bonds of 1 million, and another credit of interest income of 320,000. Pagdating naman ngayon ng year 3, ang magiging entry natin sa third annual installment payment ni investee kay investor will be debit to cash of 1 million and credit to our investment in bonds of 1 million. Sa interest income naman na tinanggap ni investor from the investee is debit to cash and credit to interest income. Now, paano natin kinakalculate this time ang interest income ni investor? On year 3, dahil nagbayad na si investee ng 1 million, yung buong taon ng year 3, 3 million na lang ang bond outstanding ni investor. So, our calculations for the interest income is 3 million times 8% times 1 year. Alright, so our entry will be debit to cash, debit to cash of 240,000 and credit to interest income of 240,000. So the compound entry for year 3 is debit to cash of 1,240,000, credit to investment in bonds of 1 million, and credit to the interest income of 240,000. So ang kinita ni investor sa year 3 is 240,000. Wala siyang premium, wala siyang discount, amortization. Ang magiging entry naman ngayon ni investor sa year 4, nung tinanggap niya ang 4th annual installment from the investee is debit to cash of 1 million and credit to our investment in bonds of 1 million. Sa interest income naman na ni-receive ni investor, ang magiging entry niya is debit to cash and credit to the interest income. Ang computations natin this time on year 4 ay magiging 2 million na lang ang bond outstanding niya dahil nagbayad na siya ng 1 million noong year 3. So, the bond outstanding this time is 2 million. So, yan ang magiging base natin to calculate for our interest income. So our entry on year 4 is debit to cash of 160,000 for the interest income and credit to interest income of 160,000, and that is calculated as 2 million times the nominal interest rate of 8% times 1 year. We have 160,000 interest income ni investor sa year 4. So on the year 5, yan na yung last year na pagbabayad ni investee sa bonds na ito. Nung tinanggap ni investor last annual installment ni investee na 1 million, we debit our cash of 1 million and we credit our investment in bonds of 1 million. Sa ating interest income naman, so we calculate that on year 5, ang bond outstanding na lang na natitira ay 1 million. Dahil nagbayad siya noong year 4 ng 1 million, we have 1 million bond outstanding. So our entry will be debit to cash and credit to interest income. Ang calculation natin ay 1 million times 8% times 1 year. Our entry on the interest income na na-receive natin kay investee is debit to cash of 80,000 and credit to interest income of 80,000. So ganito po ang computations or calculations ng interest income na na-earn ni investor from the investee from investing this money to the invest. Itong bond outstanding method usually ginagamit sa serial bond. Ang serial bond, yan yung bonds kung saan si investee nagbibigay ng installment payment niya. So, on the transaction date, dito sa examples natin, in-acquire ni investor at face amount. So, ang laman ng ating investment in bonds ay 5 million din. Then, we credit our cash of 5 million. On the first year life of the bonds, ang bond outstanding ni investor sa bonds na ito ay 5 million. On year 2, dahil nagbayad na siya ng 1 million, na first installment niya, 4 million na lang ang natitira sa bonds natin. So, on year 3, 3 million na lang ang bond outstanding ni investor. On year 4 naman, dahil nagbayad na siya ng 3 installment, 2 million na lang ang bond outstanding ni investor. And then, on the year 5, ang basihan na lang ng ating interest income this time is 1 million. Kasi yan na lang ang bond outstanding ni investor. So, ganito ang magiging entries natin and calculations of our interest income kapag ito ay serial bond. Kung saan si investee ay nagbabayad certain amount on the face value or face amount of the bonds. Dahil in-acquire ni investor ito at face amount, wala tayong amortizations of premium or discount. So, kung ano yung ni-receive niya na interest from the investee, yun po ang interest income received and earned by the investor. So, paano naman ngayon kapag ang investor ay in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito more than the face amount of the bonds? Let's say, for example, in-acquire ni investor ito ng 5,600,000. Yung difference nila, ang tawag mo doon ay premium. So, on this example, we have a premium of 600,000. Dito sa examples natin, ang ating premium ay 600,000. Tapos na tayo sa straight line method. So this time, ang gagamitin natin ay bond outstanding method. Bago natin pag-usapan ang journal entries or adjusting journal entries ng ating amortizations, i-compute muna natin lahat ng every year of these bonds. Itong example natin, meron tayong nominal interest rate na 8% na binabayaran ni investee kay investor based on the face amount of 5 million. Life of the bond is 5 years. Annual installment payment ni investee na 1 million for 5 years. First, i-calculate natin is how to calculate for our amortizations of our premium na 600,000. So, umpisa natin ito, how to calculate for the amortizations of this premium. Umpisa natin sa ating year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4, and of course, the year 5. And then, aalamin natin kung magkano ang bond outstanding each year. So, aalamin natin ang bond outstanding natin each year. So, sa first year of life of this bond, ang bond outstanding ni investor ay 5 million. Nung first year, nagbayad siya ng first annual installment. For the whole second year ng bonds na ito, ang kanyang bond outstanding ay 4 million na lang. Kasi nagbayad si investee ng first annual installment niya na 1 million. Then, ganun din sa third year, 3 million na lang ang bond outstanding. Sa fourth year, 2 million. And the fifth year, 1 million na lang ang bond outstanding niya. And then, we are going to add all of this bond outstanding para makuha natin ang ating denominator for our fractions. Then, kukunin natin ang fractions from this bond outstanding. So, yan ang fractions na gagamitin natin each year calculations for the amortizations of the premium. Then, itong fractions na ito, i-multiply natin yan sa ating premium na 600,000. Then, tsaka natin makukuha ang ating amortizations for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. So, ganito po ang pag-calculate ng ating amortizations of our premium. We have our amortizations for the first year is 200,000, for the second year is 160,000, third year is 120,000, and fourth year is 80,000, and the fifth year, ang amortization natin ng premium ay 40,000. So, kung mapapansin mo dito, sa amortizations of the premiums, nagdi-decrease siya each year. Using the bond outstanding method, sa straight line method naman, ay pare-parehas lang ang amortizations natin kasi i-divide lang natin yan over the life of the bonds. Yun ang calculation natin sa straight line method. So, after we calculate for the amortizations of the premium, i-calculate naman natin kung magkano ang interest income received ni investor from the invest each year. So, ganito ang pag-calculate ng ating interest income received from the investee using the bond outstanding method. Our bond outstanding on the first year is 5 million. 5 million ang bond outstanding natin. Then, we multiply this to our nominal interest rate of 8% times the time. Our time is 1 year dahil 1 year ang kinakalculate natin dito sa examples natin na ito. Kung ang kinakalculate mo or kinakompute mo is 6 months, then your time should be times 6/12. Kung 3 months naman yon, 3/12. Then, we have an interest income received from the investee on the first year na 400,000. On the second year, 4 million na lang ang bond outstanding niya. Kasi nagbayad siya ng 1 million na installment payment niya kay investor. So, si investor, ang bond outstanding na lang niya on the second year is 4 million. Then, we multiply that with the nominal interest rate of 8% times 1 year. Then, we have our interest income received on the second year na 320,000. Ganon din sa third year. Sa third year, 3 million na lang dahil nagbayad siya ulit ng 1 million annual installment payment. On the fourth year, 2 million na lang ang magiging basehan mo ng iyong interest income. And on the fifth year, 1 million na lang ang magiging basihan niya dahil nagbayad siya ng tigi 1 million. Then, we multiply this with the nominal interest rate times 1 for the 1 year. Then, ito po yung mga interest income received from the investee on each year. Dito sa interest income received each year, nagbe-base tayo sa bond outstanding. This is how you calculate for your interest income received ni investor. Then, paano natin kina-calculate kung magkano talaga ang true income or yung totoong income earned by the investor? So, ito ang pinaka-importante sa calculations natin ng bond outstanding. Usually, ang tanong sa problem is kung magkano yung interest income na talagang na-earned ni investor from investing his money to the investee. So, to get the true interest income earned ni investor from these bonds, from our interest income received natin, minaminus natin ang amortizations ng premium. Bakit natin minaminus ang ating amortizations ng ating premium? Ang premium po ay lost on the part of the investor. Dahil nagkaroon siya ng loss, ina-amortize natin ito over the life of the bonds. Itong loss na ito ay hindi natin nire-recognize on the transaction date. Sa transaction dates, nire-record natin ang ating investment in bonds or ang ating investment account sa acquisition cost. Dahil ang acquisition cost natin ay 5,600,000, yan ang laman ng ating investment in bonds. Right? Kasama yung premium. But then, what we do on the premium of 600,000, ina-amortize nga po natin ito sa life ng bonds. Amortization is spreading the amount over time. So, yan ang amortization. So, dahil naka-receive nga tayo ng 400,000 nung first year, binawas naman natin ang amortizations natin ng ating premium. So, ang totoong income lang natin is 200,000 on the first year. And so on until the fifth year. So, ganito po ang bond outstanding method. Kina-calculate natin ang amortization based on our bond outstanding each year. Then, ang pag-calculate natin ng interest income dahil ito ay serial bond, ang pag-calculate ng interest income received ay based on the bond outstanding din. And then, ang calculations ng talagang interest income earned ni investor ay the interest income received minus our amortizations of the premium. Yung loss natin. Ina-amortize natin or nire-recognize natin each year through amortization. Alright, so ganito po ang ating calculations paggamit ng bond outstanding method. Paano ang ating journal entry or adjusting journal entry on this amortizations of premium at pag-receive natin ng interest income? Ganito yan. So, ito na nga yung mga amounts na nakuha natin sa pag-calculate ng ating interest income received on year 1 up to year 5 at saka yung ating calculations of our amortizations of our premium from year 1 up to year 5. So, ito yung mga amounts na nakuha natin. Ang entry natin dito sa interest income na na-receive natin on each year, pare-parehas lang ang ating journal entry sa interest income received natin each year will be debit to the cash, kung magkano man yung cash na na-receive natin each year, then we credit our interest income. So, ang ating entry is debit to cash kung magkano man yung ni-receive natin each year and credit to the interest income. So, itong entry na ito ay pare-parehas lang ito each year. Alright? Nagkakaiba lang sila sa amount. Pero parehas sila ng account na ginagamit. On the first year of the bond, nung tinanggap natin yung 400,000 na interest, we debit our cash of 400,000 and we credit our interest income of 400,000. Ganun din sa year 2. We debit our cash of 320,000 and we credit interest income of 320,000. Yan ang entry natin kapag na-receive natin yung interest from the invest. Now, our adjusting journal entry naman sa amortizations of our premium is ganito. Ang ating entry or adjusting journal entry at the end of the year sa amortizations of this premium is debit to the interest income and credit to the investment in bonds. So sa first year, we have an amortizations of premium of 200,000. So ang magiging entry natin sa first year is debit to interest income of 200,000 and credit to the investment in bonds of 200,000. So nagkakaiba lang sila sa amount each year. Pero yung account na ginagamit, pare-parehas lang. So, kung titignan mo journal entries natin sa interest received natin at saka amortizations of the premium, nagka-credit tayo ng interest income. Kapag nag-credit ka ng interest income, that's an increase on your interest income. Kapag nag-debit ka ng interest income, that is a deductions to your interest income. So, ang talagang true income na na-earn ni investor on the first year is the 400,000 na na-receive niya minus the 200,000 ng amortization niya ng premium. So, ang talagang true interest income niya is 200,000. And that is 400,000 minus the 200,000 amortizations of the premium. So, ganito ang adjusting journal entry ng amortizations of the premium at ang journal entries natin kapag ni-receive natin ang interest income from the investee. Another thing na gusto kong malaman mong how to compute or how to calculate is the carrying amount of the investment in bonds. Kano ba ang carrying amount ng ating investments every year? Ganito yan. On the transaction date, our entry for the acquisitions of these bonds is debit to investment in bonds of 5,600,000 kasi yan ang acquisition cost natin. And we credit our cash of 5,600,000. So yan ang magiging beginning carrying amount ng ating investment in bonds. On the first year, we have beginning carrying amount of 5,600,000. Then, nagbayad si investee ng first annual installment payment niya na 1 million. So, we minus the 1 million installment payment on that first year. Then, meron tayong amortizations of this premium na 200,000. So, our entry is debit to interest income of 200,000 and credit to the investment in bonds of 200,000. So, mina-minus natin yan sa carrying amount amount ng ating investment in bonds. Kasi nag-credit tayo ng investment in bonds of 200,000. At the end of the year 1, our ending carrying amount of this investment in bonds is 4,400,000. On the year 2, our beginning carrying amount is 4,400,000. Nagbigay ulit ng installment payments si investee sa second year. So we minus that installment payment from our carrying amount. And then our amortizations on year 2 of 160,000. So ang carrying amount ending natin is 3,240,000. Ganun din sa year 3, ibabawas natin yung installment payment niya na 1 million. Ganun din sa year 4 and year 5. At sa year 5, the last year of the life of the bond, magiging 0 na siya. Kasi 1 million na lang ang natitirang amount ng bonds at na-receive na niya ang 5th year of installment na 1 million. Tapos yung amortizations natin on year 5 na 40,000. So, magiging 0 out na ang ating investment in bonds. So, most of the time, tinatanong din sa problem ang carrying amount ng ating investment in bonds. So, ganito po yan. Yung installment payment, meron siyang effect sa ating carrying amount ng ating investment in bonds. At saka ang amortizations ng ating premium ay binabawas po natin sa ating investment in bonds na account. So, ganito po ang pag-compute or calculate ng ating carrying amount of our investment. Kung si investor, binili niya o in-acquire niya itong bonds na ito, 4,700,000. So, the difference between the face amount and the acquisition cost of 4,700,000 is what we call discount. Magkakaroon siya ngayon ng discount na 300,000. Itong discount na ito ay magiging gain on the part of the investor. So, paano natin ito ina-amortize at mga adjusting journal entries natin when it comes to the discount? Ito yan. So, kung in-acquire niya ito ng 4,700,000, meron siyang discount na 300,000. At ang discount na ito ay gain on the part of the investor. Bakit gain? Kasi on the life of this bond, ang ibabalik ni investee sa kanya ay total of 5 million. Magkakaroon siya ng annual installment of 1 million for 5 years. That is equal to the face amount of 5 million. Pero in-acquire lang ni investor ng 4,700,000. So nagkaroon siya ng gain na 300,000. On the transaction date, hindi ito i-recognize ni investor as a gain. On the transaction date, our entry will be debit to the investment in bonds na 4,700,000 and credit to cash of 4,700,000. Walang recognitions of the gain. So, itong discount na ito, which is a gain on the part of the investor, ina-amortize natin ito over the life of the bonds. Unti-unti natin siyang i-recognize as a gain at addition to our interest income. So, ang interest income natin therefore ay mas mataas kapag meron tayong discount. So, paano nga ba natin nakakalculate ang amortizations of discount? Parehas lang ito sa premium. On the bond outstanding method, kukunin natin yung bond outstanding every year. So, ganito yan. To calculate for the amortizations of the discount, kukunin natin ang bond outstanding each year during the life of the bonds na 5 years. On the first year, ang bond outstanding niya ay 5 million. And on the second year, magbabayad siya ng 1 million. So, mababawasan yung bond outstanding niya ni investor. So, magiging 4 million. On the third year, magiging 3 million. Fourth year, magiging 2 million. And fifth year, magiging 1 million. Then, we will add the bond outstanding to get our denominator. Then, our fraction will be, pag nakuha na natin ang fraction natin, i-multiply natin yan sa ating discount. So, we have the amortizations of this discount. So, on the first year of the life of this bond, ang amortization natin ng discount ay 100,000. On the second year is 80,000. On the third year is 60,000. And so on. Until the fifth year, our amortization is 20,000. So, ganito ang pag-calculate natin ng amortizations of the discount. So, paano naman natin kina-calculate ang interest income received from the investee? Ganito yan. So, ang basihan ng ating calculations for our interest income received from the investee will be on the bond outstanding then. Alright, on the first year, 5 million pa rin ang bond outstanding ni investor. So, yun ang magiging basihan natin ng ating interest income received from the investee. Then, we will multiply this with our nominal interest rate of 8%. Then we will multiply this with our time. Since yearly ang kinocompute natin or kinakalculate natin na interest, we will multiply this with 1. Represents by 1 year. On the first year, makaka-receive si investor ng 400,000 from the investee as the interest income. And on the second year, ganun din ang calculations natin. Yan po ang calculations natin ng interest income received on each year. So, on the 5th year, ang interest income received from the investee is 80,000. So, paano natin kinakalculate naman ngayon the true interest income earned by the investor? Ganito yan. So, ganito naman ang pag-calculate ng ating true interest income earned by the investor. Sa discount, yung amortization ng discount natin, ina-add po natin yan sa ating interest income received. So, naka-receive si investor ng 400,000 interest income on year 1, tapos ina-add natin yung amortization na 100,000 na discount. Bakit natin siya ina-add? Kasi gain po yan. Gain on the part of the investor. So, ang kinita niya talaga is, aside from the 400,000 na na-receive niya from the investee as an interest income niya, nadadagdagan siya ng amortizations of the discount. Dahil itong discount, gain yan. Hindi nga lang natin i-recognize itong gain on the transaction date. Ina-amortize natin yan over the life of the bonds. On year 1, ang kinita talaga ni investor sa investment niya na ito is 500,000, which is composed of the 400,000 na na-receive niya plus the amortizations of the discount. Ganun din sa second year. Yung interest received niya na 320,000 from the investee plus the amortizations of the second year of 80,000. So, all in all, ang interest income earned niya talaga dito sa second year is 400,000. And until the 5th year, we have 80,000 interest income na na-receive niya from the investee plus our amortizations of our discount na 20,000. The interest income earned by the investor on the 5th year is 100,000. Sa premium, ang pag-calculate ng true interest income earned by the investor ay minus siya sa interest received natin. Bakit siya minus? Kasi yung premium, yan ay lost on the part of the investor. Pero yung loss na yun ay hindi natin nire-recognize sa transaction date. Ina-amortize natin yan over the life of the bonds. So, ganito po ang ating amortizations of our discount. At paano naman natin ito nire-record or gine-journalize itong ating interest income received natin from the investee at paano natin ito nire-record itong amortizations of our discount. Ganito yan. So, ito na nga po yung mga amounts na na-calculate natin sa interest income received on the first year up to the 5th year. At ito naman yung mga amounts ng amortizations of the discount na na-calculate natin. So, from the first year up to the 5th year. Our entry on the interest income received from the investee is debit to cash and credit to interest income. ang interest income na na-receive ni investor from the investee, our entry will be debit to cash and credit to interest income. So sa first year, ang interest na na-receive ni investor ay 400,000. Ang kanyang entry is debit to cash of 400,000 and credit to interest income of 400,000. Sa second year naman, 320,000 ang na-receive niyang interest from the investee. Ang kanyang entry is debit to cash of 320,000 and credit to interest income of 320,000. So every year, parehas lang ang entry nila. Nagkakaiba lang sila sa amount na idinidebit nila or ikini-credit. On the amortizations of the discount naman, ang adjusting journal entry ni investor will be debit to investment in bonds and credit to interest income. So our adjusting journal entry ng ating amortizations of the discount will be debit to the investment in bonds and credit to the interest income. So sa first year, ang ating amortizations of our discount is 100,000. So si investor, ang kanyang adjusting journal entry on year 1 will be debit to investment in bonds of 100,000 and credit to interest income of 100,000. Itong entry na ito, pare-parehas lang ang magiging entry niya up to the last year of the life of the bond. Nagkakaiba lang sila sa amount. Dito sa entry ng amortizations of the discount, nag-i-increase ang investment in bonds natin. At nag-i-increase din ang ating interest income. Kasi nag-debit tayo ng investment in bonds, that means you're increasing that account. That is your asset. Kapag nag-debit ka ng asset, nag-i-increase ka ng account na yan. So we credit our interest income, ang ibig din sabihin nun, nag-i-increase tayo ng interest income natin. So therefore, ang amortizations of the discount is an addition to your interest income received. Therefore, ang interest income ni investor sa discount na ito ay yung interest na na-receive niya plus the amortizations of the discount. So therefore, ang ating interest income earned is equal to our interest income received plus our amortizations of our discount kapag ito ay discount. Kapag premium naman, ang interest income earned natin is equal to our interest income received minus our amortizations of our premium. So yan ang concept na kailangan mong tandaan when it comes to solving a problem with investment in bonds with regards to premium and discount. So, usually, ang tinatanong sa problem is yung interest income earned by the investor considering the amortizations of the discount or the amortizations of the premium. So kapag bond outstanding or straight line ng ginagamit mo, our interest earned is equal to the interest received or interest income received plus the amortizations of discount kapag discount addition siya sa iyong interest income received. Kapag ito naman ay premium, yung amortizations of the premium is minus or deductions to your interest income received to get your true interest income earned by the investor. So ganito po ang ating bond outstanding method with the premium and the discount. Ang next na video lecture natin will be effective interest method. At yun ay medyo komplikado ng konti pero kaya natin yan. I'll see you in my next video.